let's talk all about the ITIN numbers, Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. Now, this came about in 1996. Prior to 1996, undocumented immigrants, people in the U.S. on visitor visas and so on, were given Social Security numbers. They could use the Social Security numbers to perhaps work without permission to do so, or to pay taxes. And this is a good thing that people paid taxes. Billions and billions of dollars were paid into the tax system, the Social Security system, using Social Security numbers for people who didn't have proper authorization to work. And this was a good thing for the Social Security system. So what happened after those Social Security numbers could no longer be issued to undocumented immigrants? That happened in 1996, so they started issuing ITIN numbers. Now, these ITIN numbers are used for a whole bunch of different purposes, but in the immigration context, and in this video, we're talking about how undocumented immigrants, people who are here without proper status, still wanted to pay taxes and try to do the right thing. So they got these ITIN numbers, they used them to start businesses, and they paid taxes, billions and billions of dollars in taxes, to contribute to the U.S. society. It's important to note that the ITIN number does not provide a work permit or authorization to work legally in the United States. This is just a workaround that people did to pay taxes when they couldn't otherwise get a Social Security number. Let's run through some eye-popping statistics on the ITIN number. In 2015, ITIN filers contributed $5.5 billion in payroll and Medicaid taxes, $23.6 billion in total taxes paid that year, $54 billion to the federal government, $37 billion to state and local taxes. On average, undocumented immigrants pay 8.9% of their income in state and local taxes. This is higher than 7.2% paid by the top 1% of taxpayers in the U.S. That's a lot of money. Now, historically, taxpayer information was held in privacy by the IRS. Other governmental agencies could not access it. So you knew that when you paid money to the IRS and you paid your taxes, this information was held in secret in confidence. What that secrecy did is ensure that undocumented immigrants could pay taxes without fear that they would be deported for doing so. This encouraged compliance and created a net benefit for the United States because we generated tax income from this. 2025, President-elect Trump has stated that his goal in this administration was to do mass deportation, the largest deportation plan in American history. The Department of Homeland Security under President Trump has requested personal tax information from the IRS to be shared with the Department of Homeland Security. This could potentially give immigration officers access to ITIN number information. This could weaponize the ITIN program by giving tax information to people charged with deportation and enforcement of immigration laws. So, if you're undocumented and you filed taxes using an ITIN number, should you stop doing so? And if you filed with an ITIN number in the past, are you now at risk for deportation if you're undocumented? The answer to these questions is unclear. We don't actually know how this information or whether this information will be used for enforcement by Donald Trump and his administration. But what I can tell you is this. The Trump administration has been doing its best to create a climate of fear. It's not that they've deported that many people, but they have terrorized immigrant communities. And I encourage you to stay calm, take a deep breath, and remain confident that your immigration status is probably not at risk. We don't know that Trump is going to be rounding up people who file taxes with ITIN numbers. That may happen, but it hasn't happened yet. And if you're worried about it, it'll do no good to just be anxious. So let's stay positive, let's stay confident, and let's hope that the ITIN information remains confidential and not used for enforcement. Let me know if you have questions in the comments below.